Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here, and today, guys, I'm here with another Total War Warhammer live BattleCast. In this game, we're going to play the Beastmen against the Empire. So, guys, we're going to get a lot of unit density. We might even try some Vanguard action with the MORGHURs here. Definitely pretty good against the Empire back line. So, for starters, let's go ahead and get MORGHUR the Shadowgate and get him his Staff of Ruinous Corruption. Aside from that, we can probably cut Foeseeker, although it's really only 60 resources, so I might as well keep it. I'm just so inclined to get rid of it. Against Empire, you need a little bit of, kind of a counter range, or counter harass, I should say. So, I think Lure of Death is probably the best choice. Fate of Buna is good against their Cav, and Spirit Leech is quite good against their leadership. So we're going to get a Brave Shaman here. Do we want to get Scroll of Power or Scroll of Leeching? Let's actually try Scroll of Leeching, see if we can use that to counteract their healing. So cool. So I think we're good to party there. And do we want to get a single Gorbel? Let's actually try it. I've been kind of neglecting him for quite some time. So we're going to get a Gorbel and kind of strip him down a little bit in that respect. So 2 Centaurs with great weapons here should be good, with some Hounds in support. For our front line, we're probably just going to go with the Gors here. They're a very, very good choice. They can pretty much trade somewhat evenly with most of the Empire front line. We're probably going to see like Flagellants and then Sigmar Sons and then the Tattersouls. That's kind of standard rank and file in this respect. So let's get those guys, and then we can cut that one, and then we'll get one group of best scores, just so we have some heavy infantry to throw into great swords, or if he has anything armored like a steam tank, it should be useful in that respect. So okay, perfect. So we don't have a whole lot to deal with the air. I don't know if I really want to mess with like the Ungor Raiders or anything like that, although they're not terrible at like focusing down like more expensive units. I still think a little bit more mobility would help. And really, Minotaurs I don't think are going to be that great here. So maybe we get one more group of Hounds. And so the Hounds, we're just going to have like two, like this one pressuring the back line and the other kind of Goon Squad running around together. And aside from that, do we want to get some Spears for the flanks? We can get some Spears to help out in the Cav fight in case we are overwhelmed for some reason or other. And okay, so we have 1,000 resources. We could get a group of Centaurs, just like regular ones, to do a little bit of funny business. Although that's a lot of Cav. And if he goes very like infantry focused, that could really backfire on us. But do we want to do it? I think we do. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. I think we just get a regular group just to go in and harass the back line a little bit. So aside from that, we could probably just shine a chevron up our front line here. But that's a lot of mobility. Like, this is going to be pretty micro-intensive. So if I'm not on point with that stuff, it's gonna be pretty ugly for me, guys. But good luck to my opponent, Salsicha. I think I played him a few times before. Name sounds very familiar. Yeah, I played him. I played him many times. The multiplayer community is pretty small for the most part, so you generally speaking run into the same players. So we do have the Fate of Buna and the Spirit Leech. So definitely the most competitive choices available to the Beastmen, at least against Empire, in my opinion. You need something to deal with their harass. Like, if they just can come in and cycle charge you with their Lord, and, they can get away more often than not without, taking any damage. So I want to be able to at least Spirit Leech them when they come in and, make them pay the iron price a little bit. So cool. So good connection from my opponent. No potatoes, guys. Too bad there's no forest here. I should have looked at the map. So we could advance up here because I don't want to like him to advance and then just secure the high ground. So we're just going to kind of ride up here and meet him, as they say. Damn, I hate when it's like not symmetrical, like how there's like 2 groups on this side and 3 on that side. It always bothers me. So let's go ahead and do a relatively, do we want to do it like this? Yeah, that should be fine. Cool, we'll just do it like that. And then for the back line here, we're going to go ahead and put our Goon Squad here in group 2. And MORGHUR can be with the main line here, and we can also put the Shaman next to him and the Gorbel right next to them as well. So the Gorbel is going to be like anti-harass kind of. This guy can kind of do a little bit of funny business over here, so boom. So this is our main army for now. Let's go ahead and lock these guys up. And we do have some Spears. Let's just put them in auxiliary just in case he tries to do any funny business with Cav. It's good to just have something. 3 and 4. So 3 can go ahead and do a Vanguard. Let's actually put him like right here on this lip where it's kind of like hard to see. I think he'll be obstructed if he deployed on the high ground, so, which I'm assuming he did. So cool. So our group is toggle locked, ready to party. So let's do it. Good luck to my opponent. So where did he deploy? Okay, so he's definitely on the high ground here. So I have the high ground, Anakin. Okay, so we can go with our Hounds. Let's actually send these guys because these guys are hidden right now, which is good. So we'll keep them in that little alcove, and then we'll just send the Hounds out for scouting. So let's push up the hill. We got an angry Gorbel. He's ready to go. He's got his big beat stick there with his anti-large, ready to get some man flesh going on in here. So all right, let's see what we got. So Winds of Magic, 1 per 6. We do have the Scroll of Leeching. Definitely have to remember to use that. And good, he did get the high ground here. So he does have a cannon here. Obviously, it's not alone, so we're just going to run over there and see what we can get our hands on. And we're seeing some great swords, actually. So good thing we did bring some AP infantry. Even if it's not a lot, this should be enough to help out against the great swords. And MORGHUR will be good in that kind of frontline engagement as well. So cool. So this group can kind of run over here. We might as well start mobilizing all of our troops at this point. He does have, what is that, a light wizard? Oh goodness, surprise. Surprise, surprise. So let's go ahead and push over here. Does he have any Cav? We should probably, you see, I have to be careful of the light wizard here. So looks like he's playing a very heavy infantry game. He's not doing any Cav, which is a little bit unfortunate for the build that I decided to do. So let's go ahead and put this guy in group 5. Group 2 can kind of run over here as well. We're going to have to like pressure from a bunch of different angles here. So, okay, great. So we're in position here. He does have his handgunner line, so he's got some spears in the back. So let's actually just kind of run over here. These guys can, so we want to pull his spears back with the hounds over here. So let's go ahead and engage here, get these guys going like so. And we can go ahead and just get these guys all engaging like straight on. Let's get these guys kind of charging into these as well in the front. And the hounds are going to hopefully intercept those guys. And let's actually just get a rear charge over here. Might as well, right? Do as much good stuff as we can. So we're going to take a ton of missile fire here. You can see it's just literally raining hell on us here. So group 5, we're charging in here. Group 2, we can go ahead and charge into the side here. So we get a nice little charge on the back of those greatswords. So what we're going to do is just pull out right away. Let's get these guys going up and down on the cannon crew like that. Good. MORGHUR, we want to make sure he gets on this goodness. Let's go ahead and pop the leadership buff. And all right, so I think everything's going relatively to code. We got a nice little charge over there. We do have these guys coming, so we want to pull them back. Definitely don't want to be running into those spears. So do we have a Fate Buna target? Nah, we can get on some of these greatswords. That's honestly not a bad idea. So we're going to pop that, and then we're also going to look for his caster, who's probably lurking around here somewhere, and cast that Scroll of Leeching. Oh, he's just out of range, actually. So perfect. So let's get our Cav game kind of coming back in on the front. We can get these guys engaged here, and MORGHUR should be engaged shortly. Although, man, we're taking a ton of spear fire. So looks like he's just focusing the Gorbel, who we're going to actually run away a little bit. So good. So we do get the hounds in the back, and we're going to get onto that great cannon. So good. So we finally got to get in there and do a little bit of good stuff. And we do have our Death Sorcerer. We got a very good Fate Buna. Got to make sure to recharge these guys. Sometimes they just stand there kind of derpy like. So let's get these spears engaged over here, and we get a great surround on these greatswords here on the flank. We also do kill his cannon, which is very, very high value. So the mobility seems to be paying off pretty well. Let's go ahead and get our Gorbel like engaged here, and hopefully if we can like get some Chaos Spawn like summoning over there, that's going to be really strong. So good. So we just like wrecked those greatswords there. So let's actually get this group here now and pull them up and around here. See if we can do a little bit of fancy mechanics going on. And yeah, the front line's going well, I would say. It's tough regardless, but let's go ahead and Spirit Essence these greatswords here, and that's going to give us a nice little spike of power. So we do have a Spirit Leech. Let's go ahead and pop it on the enemy Lord, who is a General of the Empire, so any damage we can get on him is going to be very good. We killed that cannon. Let's see if we can go ahead and get on that Light Wizard, and these guys are up and around the back, so let's go ahead and collapse into some of these handgunners. So because his firing line is just very, very scary, guys. And good. So the Chaos Spawn are up and about, so let's push them back into the handgunners as well. We definitely need to start penetrating that back line, and let's get these guys pushing on top of all of that. So good. So his Lord's in here. We can go ahead and have MORGHUR and Homeboy fight him, and we do get the kind of cav and other missiles into the back line, so that's a very, very good exchange. So let's get MORGHUR and this Death Shaman also into some of these handgunners. All right, so we do have Gores coming back in. Let's kind of keep pushing them this way. We do have these Bestigors. Let's get them engaged on the Greatswords, and we have another Fate Buna. I think we do. So we can go ahead and pop that on these Greatswords, which is going to be pretty useful here. So let's also use that Scroll of Leeching here on the Light Wizard. Finally, we get that thing off. So we're just going to kind of chase over here and just kind of keep these guys on these guys. And let's also use the Staff of Ruinous Corruption. So we're going to pop that back there, which is going to be quite strong. And we do have a lot of troops coming back from route. So let's go ahead and push those guys and have them start hunting down some of his isolated troops. Let's get these guys pushing in as well. So we've gotten some pretty good penetration in the back line for the most part. MORGHUR and my Death Sorcerer did kind of get picked by his Lord here, but honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. He did get a light, one of those light nets of Emnatok. I'm just totally blanking right now. It's been a while since I've done one of these live battlecasts, actually, so good. So let's get these guys running here. We do have some dogs in the back that can go chasing. And I don't mind going fisticuffs with MORGHUR against his Lord. That's like a pretty decent little trade for me. So great. So we're going to kind of intercept those greatswords over there. Let's pull some of these guys in the back to hunt those guys, and let's push these guys on those handgunners. So a lot of wild micro. We're having to use a lot of mobile units, but it looks like we're starting to get the balance of power in our favor. Very, very well played by my opponent. This has been a great little cockfight henceforth. So we're able to capture that group on the flank. Let's push her up, Captain. So we get the hounds. We've really kind of gotten through to his back line finally, which did take a lot of time, but okay, we need to help MORGHUR actually. He's taking a little bit too much work, a little more than I thought he would take. So the back line of my opponent is collapsing, but you can see the balance of power isn't out of reach. So let's go ahead and just kind of run back, let our goon squad kind of surround him, and now that he's kind of engaged on by all these units, we can go ahead and re-engage with MORGHUR. So good. So yeah, we just got to chase down all these handgunners, make sure they don't come back in the fourth quarter, and like help to wrap things up. So MORGHUR, he definitely has a lot more to give to this battle, so we need to make sure that we're on top of that. Another Spirit Essence coming up relatively shortly, so let's pull back here. We don't want to like get into a bunch of spears here. And we do have these guys, so let's have them kind of get our infantry and have them go after his infantry here. So our goon squad is pulling back. You can see my opponent is going to actually charge on MORGHUR very aggressively, and he gets a huge burst of damage. Man, that was heavy duty. So we're going to kind of kite back through those troops again, like we were doing before. Get another Spirit Essence here in just a moment. There should be some pretty good targets, and let's get these Chaos Spawn actually charging. Do we have any targets over here? We do. So let's get these guys. Great. So we need to get that Spirit Essence of Chaos off. So is there anything low enough nearby? So these guys are pretty low, so we can actually get it on those shattered troops, which it's unfortunate because they're shattered. It's not going to like make a big difference in the course of the battle right now, but It's okay with me. So let's charge him into the back of these guys and keep fighting the good fight. MORGHUR does have quite a bit of healing left, so let's get him back near his homies here. And we definitely don't want these cav like sitting and fighting here. So let's actually see if we can go after these spears here. So good. We're chasing down a lot of my opponent's forces. Let's go ahead and finish off these handgunners. You can see the light wizard is back online, so let's have our hounds go feast on him. And MORGHUR, unfortunately, is pretty isolated, so this could be a little bit dangerous, guys. And we do have a Staff of Ruinous Corruption, but it's way off here. So MORGHUR is going to get charged here. Thankfully, he did get knocked back, so it wasn't like super devastating to us. We do have these chaos spawn in here just tearing it up, and the light wizard does get surrounded by hounds, so we should be able to kill him. So a lot of it is going to come down to how MORGHUR deals with this lord back here. I mean, let's go ahead and pop the Apocalyptic Vision and any other buffs we can. So we killed the light wizard, which is great, and if we can get them over before MORGHUR dies, I think we got this. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough, guys. So the hounds are going. MORGHUR is fighting. You know, he's fighting the good fight, but he is fighting a general of the Empire who's very strong. But these hounds, hopefully collapsing on the back here, will help to turn the tide. He is shaken, has about 700 HP. So let's get these hounds in, just push on that lord who is shaken. So incredibly close fight. Oh, we also get some cav back, which is great. So great. So we crushed all of his infantry, and it looks like his lord is going to shatter. So what a close battle. My goodness. Definitely one of the better live battlecasts we've had in quite some time. So very well played to my opponent, Salsicha. Let's make sure to, I think that replay is already saved, but let's just do that just to be safe. Cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown, guys. So the build worked out well. The front line was pretty good considering we were fighting greatswords, actually. I think those best gores were a pretty good investment. The gores in conjunction with, you notice how Fade Abuna was doing a really good job of thinning out that front line. And this was exactly what I was afraid of, non-cav army, because I went very anti-cav with the Centaurs, but we were able to just like kind of maneuver our cav around the back line in such a way that it was very hard for our opponent to keep up with. So regardless, very well played to my opponent, Salsicha. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Take care.